Hello, dear team at Carb King. We see this line in emails all the time, usually followed by a question like, could you please show how to replace the diaphragm on the slide? Mine has a hole, or I slipped with the screwdriver. We've heard all kinds of stories, but surprisingly, we've never made a video about this, until now. So today, you'll see exactly how to replace the diaphragm on the slide for your motorcycle. Of course, the big question is, when do I actually need to replace the diaphragm? As I always say in my videos, make sure to inspect it carefully. And now, you might come across a spot that looks like this. Here you can already see some mechanical wear and tear. When I check for damage, I always run my gloved hand or finger behind the diaphragm. You might even be able to see light shining through in some cases. If I suspect any damage, I take a small, bright flashlight and shine it from behind. Right now, there's nothing visible here. Even though the rubber's top layer is already worn, there's still no hole showing through. Now let's take a look at another one I've set aside for you. See this? It looks similar at first, but when I shine the flashlight behind it, you can clearly see a small hole has already formed. These weak spots can appear in different areas, so make sure to inspect the entire diaphragm carefully. Here the surface also looks a bit worn or damaged. When I shine the light here, you can see a tiny little hole. Now it's becoming a bit more visible. This really is a bit of detective work you have to do. But in general, I can tell you this. If it already looks like this, even though no light is shining through yet, it usually won't be long before this spot fails as well. So if you've already taken the time to remove the carburetor, cleaned it thoroughly, and installed a repair kit, it's a good idea to check the Wumby shop to see if a replacement diaphragm is available for your motorcycle. Since you're watching this video for your specific motorcycle model, which is listed in the title, that means a compatible diaphragm should be available. You'll find the link in the video description below. And don't forget to order the correct number of diaphragms you need. I'd also recommend replacing all of them at once, even if only one is damaged. Since you're already doing the work, it just makes sense. And now we're going to focus specifically on the version that applies to your motorcycle. Look, this is what's included in the package. This is exactly how you'll receive it. If there's a zip tie included, that's a clear sign that the top plastic ring needs to be reused. There's also a small instruction sheet in the package, but you can simply follow along with this video. So if you see a zip tie, remember, you'll need to reuse the plastic ring. You've got the super glue in the diaphragms in the correct quantity, just as you ordered them. Please be aware that during transport, the diaphragm might flip inside out. That means it could be in the wrong position when you receive it. If you don't pay attention and install the diaphragm like this, you won't be able to fit it properly because this edge here, which needs to sit in the groove of the carburetor housing, will end up on the wrong side. So the first thing you should do is check whether the edge is facing downward. That's the very first step you should take with every diaphragm before installation. Now, I show you what else you'll need. You'll need a small piece of wood and a piece of sandpaper. A sturdy utility knife, it needs to be strong. We'll link one for you in the video description. You'll also need a small screwdriver, a marker, and silicone spray, which we've also linked below. We start by marking the position of this tab on the diaphragm in relation to the slide. During assembly, we need to know the exact position, so make sure to work precisely. It's important to mark not just the plastic ring, but also the inside of the slide. If you plan to put the slide into an ultrasonic cleaner after removing the diaphragm, then don't just mark it, scratch it in lightly. Markings made with a marker usually wash off in the ultrasonic bath. Now that we've marked it, we can fold the diaphragm back, and now you'll need the utility knife. Next, we need to cut off the plastic ring. To do this, I cut a small slit here, being careful not to damage the ring since we'll be reusing it. This part is quite difficult. You can also use side cutters or another tool, but even though this looks really tough, and it actually is, in my experience, This is the best method. I carefully cut into the slit piece by piece, trying not to damage the plastic ring underneath too much. Now, I'd say it's almost there. A small screwdriver can help at this point. Let's check if it's already loose enough. I think there's still a tiny bit left to cut, so I'll turn it around and make another small cut. Now carefully lift the plastic ring off, sliding it over this edge. This takes a bit of practice, so just be patient and careful. It's also harder to demonstrate on video because I want to make sure you see every step clearly. When I do this alone, it's actually easier, but in the video it might not look as smooth. Now the plastic ring is off. As I mentioned, we still need this, so set it aside carefully. Now you can remove the old damaged diaphragm. Next, I always check for any damage. Here there's a small scratch, so I'll smooth it out a bit with sandpaper. Next, I degrease everything. That means I clean out the small groove inside as well as the metal plate. Make sure to thoroughly clean everything using brake cleaner. Once it's clean, set it aside. We'll soon focus on the plastic ring, and there's something important I need to explain about it. All right, friends, let's continue with the plastic ring. I've placed it back onto the slide to show you something. If we just put the ring back on like this, it won't sit flush, but it needs to fit perfectly. That means we'll have to modify the ring slightly to make sure everything fits correctly. So, for now, I'll take the plastic ring off again. Be careful. You'll need to do this a few times before we're done. Now, we'll need the sandpaper, or you can also use a round file. I'll show you an example using a screwdriver. We're going to add a slight bevel to the edge so the plastic ring can slide more easily under the metal rim of the slide. I also remove a little bit of material from this surface in general. This makes it easier to fit during assembly, helping it slide into place correctly. This step requires patience and practice. I'm using sandpaper here, but you can also use a round file. Now, start sanding all the way around, working gradually and checking regularly to see how the ring fits. I'll do this now and show you the progress in a moment. And don't be surprised, you actually need to remove quite a bit of material. As you can see, I've already worked on it for a bit, and the gap has gotten smaller, but it's still clearly visible, which means I need to keep going. So I'll grab my sandpaper again. By the way, it's also linked in the video description. Keep working step by step until the ring fits properly. Take a look. The gap is almost gone now, but it's still too tight, so that's not quite enough yet. I need to remove a little more material so the ring can move more freely. I'll show you exactly what I mean in a second. I've sanded it down even more, so now let's test the fit again. And this is exactly the result we want. The ring should move easily, and hopefully you can see this. It should also have a slight bit of side-to-side movement. It should be just a little loose. Why does it need to be this loose? Let me show you. I'll carefully remove the ring again. Make sure you do the same. Now take your old diaphragm, the one you just removed, to practice with. It has this small edge around it, and this edge needs to sit inside this groove. Now try fitting it in. This is your final check before assembly. Now place the plastic ring back on, and you'll notice that there's still a small gap. This gap should fully close when we tighten the zip tie later. That's what will hold everything in place. That means I still need to fine-tune it a little bit, and I'll do that now. The fit needs to be perfect so that with the diaphragm in place and the plastic ring on top, there is no gap left. As soon as the ring starts moving freely, like I showed you earlier, you'll know you're almost there. This is your final check before we start gluing. All right, friends, now it's time to glue everything in place. As I mentioned earlier, I've degreased everything, especially the groove inside the slide, using brake cleaner. Everything is now clean and ready, including the plastic ring, both the top and bottom surfaces. Earlier, I mentioned that you'll need silicone spray. Let me quickly explain why. You're about to apply glue inside this groove, and at the very end, you might also add a thin layer on this seam. Now place the diaphragm on top and align it, making sure the tab lines up with the mark you made earlier. You'll notice that everything is very tight, and you may need to adjust the position slightly to get it just right. But here's the problem. If the diaphragm touches the superglue, you won't be able to reposition it. So to prevent this, you can lightly spray the underside of the diaphragm with silicone spray. This will keep it from sticking too soon so you can still adjust the placement if needed. Remember, the diaphragm itself should not be glued. It should simply sit inside the groove, and in the end, the plastic ring will hold everything in place. Be very careful with the superglue. It should not touch the surface of the diaphragm. If it does, it will harden in that spot, making it stiff and brittle. A stiff area like that will cause the diaphragm to fail quickly. So, double-check everything and work carefully. I like to position the diaphragm in the correct direction beforehand, with the edge facing downward so it's ready to go. Now I have everything prepared. The plastic ring is ready, the zip tie is ready, and now I take the super glue, the same one that was included with your order. I start opposite the mark. Now I carefully apply a thin, even layer of super glue inside the groove, making sure there are no gaps. Take your time with this step. I start opposite the mark so that when I see the mark again, I know I've gone all the way around. Once done, close the glue bottle to prevent it from drying out. And remember, the tab on the diaphragm must align with the mark. So, make sure everything is positioned correctly and try not to touch the glue. A small adjustment. Okay, now it's perfectly aligned. Now fold the diaphragm down into place, and it's time to put the plastic ring on. Since you practiced this step with the old diaphragm, this part should now be easy. The key is to fit the ring without shifting the diaphragm. Next, apply a tiny drop of super glue to the small gap. That's enough. You don't need more. Now take the zip tie and secure everything. Be careful not to pinch the diaphragm while tightening it. And this is the final result we're aiming for. If needed, you can tighten the zip tie a little more, using pliers to ensure the gap fully closes. Now the glue needs to cure for 8 hours, so leave it alone and don't install it yet. After 8 hours, you can remove the zip tie and continue reassembling the slide.